My mother passed away 6 months ago today. It was September 3rd. It was at 6:30, and it was on my birthday. Mom had been with me about 4.5 years. And the last year, or I guess we'll say over the course of the last 9 months, she was not with me for about 5 of those months. And during the time she wasn't with me, I had shoulder surgery, and it was just a rough time. And I wanted to do this video because I'm not the only person who's ever lost a parent. I'm also not the only one who took care of their parent while they had issues up until the time that they passed away. And I gotta tell you, it's somewhat different. It's a different feeling than I had when my dad passed away back in 2002. As a matter of fact, in June, it would be 20 years since my dad passed away, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. But you have this thing where I was like her lifeline. That was it for all that time. And initially I had some help. My ex was still here. My neighbor was coming over. There were a few other people who we were paying to come sit with her for a couple of hours here and there so we could go out and do different things. And then the pandemic hit, and it was just me for a long while. And then my neighbor was able to come over a couple of times a week. And she had an adult daycare place where she could go. And then 2021 came, and what a mess. And I didn't know what to do with myself when I was by myself, knowing that Mom was in town, but she was at a place where I couldn't get her home initially. And then she wasn't there anymore. And so I have spent the last 6 months trying to get my life back together. But it ain't easy. It's not even close to easy. I'm getting better, but it's not close to easy. So I wanted to kind of talk about the different kinds of things that I went through and still go through. So the first thing I went through was I'm in this big old house totally by myself. It's a big house. I mean, it's a ranch house. So the main level is 1,900 square feet. But I have an almost full basement, which is another 1,500 square feet. It's a big house. And now it's just me. It's a 5-bedroom house. And initially I didn't know what to do with anything. So I basically left everything the way it was. And luckily earlier in the year, I had a couple of different people who were coming over to help me figure out how to get rid of certain things. And then after Mom passed, one of my other nieces came over and she helped me once a week to do some things. And then after that, the holidays came, and that's it. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've had a single visitor in this house since December. And this is March. I have gone out once with one friend, male, and once with a female friend. No, twice. Different female friends. One of them's married. This was not a date. It was just, leaving the house to go out to eat something for either lunch or dinner. And I've been out to one group luncheon. People I used to work with at the hospital. Most of the time, I'm in the house. I share a backyard with a major grocery store called Wegmans. Anyone in Central New York knows it. Matter of fact, East Coast, you probably know about Wegmans, but most of the rest of the country doesn't. So I'm there 3 or 4 times a week, most of the time. But I've had periods. I had an 8-day period where I didn't leave the house. And that sounds strange, but I just couldn't handle being out. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't want to sit in a restaurant. I just wanted to stay in the house. And that was something that I did a lot of when Mom was here with me. I can make a quick run to McDonald's. You don't get out of the car. I can make a quick run to Wegmans, but I had those couple of days a week where someone else was here, so if I needed something extended, I could do that. I'd gotten used to ordering food. I almost never ordered food before the pandemic hit, so I had to get used to that. I spent all of, can I say I spent all of Christmas? Actually, I didn't. Yes, I did. I spent all of Christmas by myself. There was Thanksgiving I spent with what I call my second family, but all of Christmas, I basically shut everything down. I didn't get on social media. I didn't answer the phone. I turned off everything, and I just stayed in the house, just totally by myself because I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to go to the casino to play poker, which is something I like to do every once in a while, but I do that less often than I used to. I have to get used to getting out of the house more. Uh, but I had to deal with that. I had to deal with the fact that I had trouble sleeping. Now, I've had trouble sleeping the entire time Mom was here, but I also had trouble sleeping beforehand. However, back in the day, before Mom came here, I was an independent consultant, and whenever I finished a gig, because I was traveling, I had a period where I just relaxed. I had no problems in the world. I had this money in the bank, and I was doing well. And with Mom not being here, I have not relaxed almost ever. The only little bit of relaxation I get, I don't want to hear no laughing, is listening over and over to either Harry Potter soundtrack music or ambient music from Harry Potter, which you can get off of YouTube. That is the one thing that relaxes me somewhat. I don't understand it, but it's true. I'm actually sleeping better now, but sleeping better is a different story because my goal is only 5 hours a night. A lot of people need 7 to 8 hours. I would like to get 7 or 8 hours, but my goal is 5 hours. And I hit it about 75% of the time, and it's barely over 5 hours. So I don't sleep well. I'm working on that. That's getting better. I have not sat down in the house and watched a movie since, wow, was it way back then? I think it was Christmas 2020 when Wonder Woman 1984 came out. And that's the only time I actually sat down and watched an entire movie. I've seen some other movies, but not all in one sitting because I just don't tend to do that kind of thing. I think about Mom every day. Now, truthfully, I have her, I don't know if this is going to show, but I have Mom right there on my phone on the lock screen. So whenever I hit that, I see Mom. I have a picture of Mom over here in front of me. I have pictures of Mom and Dad on the wall over here. I've got pictures of Mom in the dining room. But I don't need to look at the pictures. I think of her all the time. If I come across a picture of her either smiling or just staring because at a certain point she stops smiling, I just, get this feeling inside. You don't get over that. But like I said, it's a much different feeling than my dad when he passed. I mean, I was a mess then also, but it was a totally different thing because I just felt this sense of loss, total loss. It was like, I didn't get enough information out of you. I don't know what to do. How am I supposed to, do this? How do I go forward? With Mom, I had to kind of make all the decisions, and it made me understand what she kind of went through after Dad passed. I did a few things, but I didn't do enough what I should have done. But other people came to help her out, and that, I can't thank those people enough. Of course, I can't thank those people all because they're all gone now. That's how life really is, But I'm trying to get to a place where I will actually go out of the house and go to a group event. I actually did go to a group event for my local area chamber, where I went to a Christmas celebration kind of thing. I stayed 45 minutes. It was hard to do, but I made a commitment. I'm going to stay 45 minutes. And I stayed 45 minutes. You know how they cut sandwiches into like fours? I was going to say squares, but they don't cut them into squares. It's more like triangles, whatever. I had one triangle of a sandwich, and I had a diet soda. And that was it. And I knew some of the people. I didn't know a bunch of the people because I hadn't been to the chamber since, 2015? So that was about 6 years. But I knew a couple of people. So it wasn't overly bad, but it was just like all I could think of is I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. It's an odd thing. It's odd when you have been with someone for a long time and taken care of them, and suddenly you're out there on your own trying to figure out what to do. So I've been working on a project which I hope is going to generate an income that I can stay at home and just keep adding more content to it. And, that would be my best. I'm lucky in the fact that I do have money in reserve, so I'm not in a super rush. But, if you're not bringing in a good income, money doesn't last forever. If you're not bringing in any income, money definitely isn't going to last forever. So, I feel for anybody who's lost a parent. I feel for anybody who's lost a child. I feel for anyone who has to take care of somebody else, knowing that they're never going to get better. And that their only real hope is that they will stay healthy enough to be able to take care of that person until the worst comes. I don't feel like I did that because I had to have shoulder surgery. I was in pain all the time. And so I had shoulder surgery, and a week after that, Mom's in the hospital. And I still feel guilty about that. There was nothing I could do about that, anything else, but I feel guilty about that. I feel guilty that she stayed in these 2 other nursing homes for an equivalent of 4 to 5 months. I feel guilty about that. And it's hard to overcome guilt like that. And you just kind of have to figure out, I've got to live with this, and we've got to move on. I'm not alone. I know some other people who've had to deal with this same kind of thing. And matter of fact, I know some folks who were on YouTube who had channels. And as soon as their loved one passed away, they left. They shut down. I guess I'm just oddly lucky, if I put it that way, that I've had other people, wrong, let me rephrase that, that I've had other topics that I've done videos on that weren't just about what Mom did this week or what Mom did today or how I felt about Mom today at that point when she was in decline and having difficult issues. And I'm still glad that I was able to beat the nursing home, the last nursing home she was at, because I lost the anger. I haven't lost the depression. I haven't lost anxiety, but I lost the anger because I don't have to deal with those people. So I guess sometimes you just take what you can get and you have to move on. Anyway, I think I've rambled enough here. So, this is what I have. I had to do this video. There's no real kind of topic thing about it here except for the fact that I miss Mom. 6 months, same day. I know the exact time. It's going to be interesting. If y'all have been through this kind of thing, let me know how you handled it. And if you're going through something like it right now and you're worried about it, let me know your thoughts. My name is Mitch Mitchell. I hope everybody is doing well. Y'all take care.